Okay, it's time for that new tyre feeling for the 450MT. Now I've gone for this Tractionator Adventure. It's a 140/80/18, which I got from AMX. And front one, I'm going to be fitting the Desert. It's pretty chunky. I had one of these on my DR, it was pretty good. Now I had to get, these are the only tyres I could actually get because it's the only ones that were in stock. And see a video of me riding in the mud out in Creswick. It was a lot of clay, and in the video it looks like I'm going pretty slow because it was so sketchy on the original tyres. As you can see, these are great tyres on dirt roads, and you know, on the road I love them, really smooth, but when you hit that muddy stuff they are not real good at all. So look at those chunky bad boys. Now all I got to do is get them fitted. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it myself or get someone to do it. Alright, so I was a bit worried about jacking this up with this bash plate because it's really thin and bends easy, but yeah, it seems to be doing the job. It's nice and flat on top. I've also hooked up a couple of tie downs to the handlebars just in case anything happens. You can see how cold it is in here, look at that. Still very cold today. Alright, I'm going to get the front wheel off first and see what happens with that one. What do we got to do? We've got brakes. I don't have to take the brakes off, but I normally do because it's easier to fit the wheel back on. So I think the axle, I think it's a 14mm. Let's have a look what we've got. Actually, I feel I put it in my tyre kit already. Let's have a look. Okay. Look at that, I was actually smart enough to put it on the bike. In the kit. So there's a 14mm. And that's the one you need. It's got to loosen off these two Allen key bolts. Nice tight fit. And that is a 6mm. Alright, let's get that loosened off. That is really tight. I'm going to have to use a bar. A bit of leverage on this. Alright, there she goes. I'm not sure if they got Loctite on these or something. Anyway, let's get it off. That's interesting, they don't have the spacer in there that falls out like normally. It's just one solid piece. Alright, so that side does have a spacer. Still looking good. Alright, that's one wheel off. Alright, so the original tyre is actually a 70 profile sidewall and the new one is an 80. As you can see there. Hey, look at that, guys. You can see the difference in tread there. She's going to be grouse. Alright, I'm going to have a little go, see if I can break the bead on it, see how hard it is. If it gets too hard, I'll just take it to the shop. But I want to have a go. Let's do a little tread depth comparison using this little tool here. Alright, let's have a look at the Motoz. In the middle of the lug. What do we got there? Jeepers. That's like 15mm of tread. That is pretty chunky. Alright, so the originals, I remember doing this when I first got the bike. Alright, so if you have a look at that, that is saying like 7, I think it was about 8 or 9mm of tread it had when I first got it. Let's go and have a look at the front one. I know when I measured this, it was about 5mm from new. Let's have a look. Yeah, still 5mm. Let's have a look at the new Motoz. Now that comes in at 11, between 11 and 12mm. That is way chunkier. Okay, let's see if they are hard to get off or not. Being a tubeless. Oh, did you look at that? I just did one lever on that and that came off. Well, that is easy for a tyre change, but gets me thinking, like, if you're out in the bush with a tubeless tyre and it does come off the bead like that, what are your chances of getting it back on? Especially if you've only got a little air pump. Could be a problem. This is why I'm going to carry a tube just in case. Alright, I'm going to get that tyre off. Okay, I don't have one of those fancy little tools that hold the bead up, so I'm just going to use a tyre lever with a zip tie. And I found one of my protectors. So I found my little spoon tools. Let's have a go. that actually lifted off really easy. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of that off and I'll come back to you. Well, that actually came off really easy. There's the valve. You see the little quality inspection sticker there. 2023 pass. Inspected by 08. Alright, that's what the inside of the rim looks like. It's pretty lubed up already. Let's just hope the new tyre goes on. Okay, so these are actually a directional tyre. So I'm going to double check, make sure this is on the right way, because I have done it before with DA6 on the rear of my DR. I had to do it again. Alright, so I got one side on. It was actually pretty easy. I just sprayed it with a bit of WD-40. It'll make it slide on easy and beat easier. Time for side 2. The second side was a little difficult to get on. It seemed a lot tighter. Alright, let's see if we can pump her up. I have got the valve in because I don't want it to go down again and lose the bead. Now let's have a look at the other side, see if it beaded. Well, that is on. I'm just going to pump that up to the right pressure now and then maybe look at the back one. I reckon that's going to be really difficult because they have got such solid sidewalls. But we'll give it a go. If it doesn't work, it's off to the shop. Alright guys, I nearly forgot. Now this is pretty dodgy. I just got a couple of car stands with a socket extension and it seems pretty good. As you can see, it spins easy. It's pretty good fit actually. It's almost like the axle. But I'll tell you what, it actually seems pretty balanced. Now I know this is not the proper way to do it, but if you had a wheel with a bead lock in it, they really froze them out. But this is actually really good. Yeah, well that's the best I can do anyway while I'm at home. I'm going to go and whack this back on the bike now and see how it looks. That guys, how friggin' awesome does that look? I've got to say that really gives it more of an aggressive look, more of an off-road look for sure. Alright guys, I didn't record doing the back tyre. I just didn't have time. I haven't finished doing it all up yet, but I just wanted to show you before it gets too dark here. Alright, one thing I did notice, it was a bit of a bugger to get back on because the cush hub, at first when I took it off it was all nice and tight and then all of a sudden it fell off. And putting it back on, I had to squeeze that back in and I kept wanting to pop out. I gotta say the back tyre was pretty much the same as doing the front, only the back one having such a stiff sidewall, it kind of beaded by itself, so it wasn't too bad. Alright, don't know what else to say really. Back one was a bit of a bugger, like I said, the cush hub kept pushing out and then the spacers didn't want to go in properly. It was a bit of mucking around, but I got there eventually and it is on. So how does that look? Looks way more aggressive. Oh, that's what I was going to say too. Before, with the original tyre, that rim actually stuck out the side, and the other day when I was out in the mud, you can see I've worn the paint off the side. Now with these knobbies here, as you can see, you can't see the rim. So that is actually a good thing, I would say, especially if you're going over rocks and stuff, so you're not going to smash your rim up too much with these knobbies sticking out the side. Alright guys, so thank you for watching and we'll see you out on the track.